All right, guys. So today we have a first video match chat. How are you doing today, sir?
Yay. I'm very good, thank you. I'm chilling out in a hotel in sunny Southend, and it's actually sunny. Look, I'll turn it around so you can see that.
Whoa, very cool.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get some time away to write my next book, which is kind of fun.
I am glad you confirmed that you're not living some sort of like Alan Partridge-esque lifestyle of
In a travel lodge, yeah.
yeah.
At least I love Alan Partridge. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant.
Cool. So you say you're writing a book then?
Yeah. My next book's about obviously my next thing, which is teaching online for instructors and coaches and just generally people in general who have a passion for a particular subject. So I'm trying to write the book. I'm about 50 pages in, only another like 100 to go. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's time consuming, but I like getting my thoughts down on paper and just getting it out there. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I had my first little sort of flurry in the whole book writing thing, albeit only about 6 pages. But it's a start with my first ebook, a little mini ebook. After you gave me a little bit of a nudge to get on and do it, so
good.
I remember with that, it's just getting the first bit started, and
Yeah,
then once it's going, it's
yeah, once you kind of get into a groove and you're flowing, you don't want to stop, do you? You kind of like it's just coming out and you're just enjoying it and going, but it's getting started, like you say. Usually it requires half a bottle of wine
and a hotel room,
and a hotel room. Yeah.
no distractions.
Well, that's it. Otherwise, kids running in and all that. So a
So
bit of
is
focus time.
is this sea view, if I can say it, sea view? Wow, words are hard. Is it the replacement for the cruise view? Is that?
Yeah, well, I cancelled the cruise, didn't I, like an
Yeah.
idiot? So I'm trying to make a little bit of a compromise. I'm not in the Mediterranean. I'm in Southend-on-Sea. Hey!
Oh yeah.
But at least it's sunny down here. It's quite nice right now. So yeah, it's a bit of a replacement for that
And there's seagulls,
and
just
stuff. Yeah,
maybe the occasional boat will go past.
yes, and Chavs eating chips is great. Love
Cool. So why
it.
don't we then? Seeing as though you're locked away in your little secret hideout, writing a book on the subject of people teaching online, why don't we talk about that?
Cool, sounds good. It's a passion of mine. It's something I got into about 6 years ago. I just was looking on YouTube for cool drills and new ideas for classes, and I couldn't really find much in the focus mitt world, and that was the area that I was really passionate about. So I
Hmm.
just created a few videos and slapped them up on YouTube. They started to get a bit of engagement. People said they liked it. They wanted to see a few more. So I just created quite a lot of content over about a year and eventually thought, wow, I wonder if I could like make this into a product and sell it. So I put it all together, packaged it all up, launched it, and sold zero.
Yeah.
Like just tumbleweed and nothing, nothing for and that lasted for a year. So it's quite
Yeah.
a long time. And I was trying to market it and get it out there and I don't know what kept me going, but for some reason, probably because martial arts, right? Your
Yeah.
persistence, your dedication, you stick with it, you work through the tough times. I just kept pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. And then one day I sold my first product. I think it's for like £7.99. And I did a little yay dance of joy and ran around in a circle a little bit. Because once you know that one person will buy your stuff, there's going to be others.
Yeah.
So it's
Absolutely.
then just a matter of tracking them down and sharing good content, providing value, helping them out. And you can start to build a little sort of side hustle online business on the side of your, regular stuff.
So do you think it was more a case of the market wasn't really ready for that sort of thing, or that you weren't doing it right, or maybe a bit of both?
No, I wasn't doing it right.
Right.
Like
Okay.
totally no idea about how to sell the benefits of what I was producing, no idea about how to write copy, no idea to how about writing a headline that might attract attention, just slapping stuff up
Yeah.
willy-nilly, like all that marketing stuff that us martial artists hate. I had to learn how to do in
Yeah.
order to build this business. And luckily, it also transfers to your martial arts school as well. Doesn't matter what business you're in, marketing is key to serving your customers and making sales and living the life you want to live. So I spent a lot of money getting trained on marketing,
Yeah, that is a key thing. I think a lot of people are, put off by the marketing elements to it because they feel like they're selling out. But the thing of it is, marketing can be used to help promote a brilliant school with brilliant standards, just as well as it can be used to promote a shocking school with shocking standards. So,
of course,
it really it doesn't make any difference to what you're teaching. It helps you to influence more people, and from the business perspective as well, which is part of it. It allows you to get more from it in that respect, which it kind of goes in a cycle, isn't it? The more you get on top of the marketing, the more people you can help, because it allows you to help more people. And it's
it's really, really cool. I mean, I like marketing. I think marketing is the same as martial arts. I consider marketing martial arts because it's based on leverage, positioning, all of that minimal effort, maximum result. That's what marketing is all about. So to me, it's just like martial arts done online. So I don't have any issues with it, and I've learned how to get fairly good at some of it. And it's built into a business that allowed me about a year ago to sell my physical martial arts school so I could focus on helping more people in the wider world. Because, having a martial arts school is super cool. I really enjoyed it. But I could only help 300, 400 people in my local community. And that was kind of it. I was limited by the physical restrictions of my school. But because I've taken what I do online now, I've got now thousands of clients, customers, I've got literally thousands of students now who study what I put out there. So it means I can have more of an impact. I can help more people. And I just find it also more fun and challenging.
Absolutely. So you got on top of the sort of the marketing element of it when you first got started. And then, how quickly did things from that point then start to pick up?
Yeah, as soon as I knew what I was actually doing with the marketing, within 3 years, I'd replaced my income from the school and could
completely. Wow.
Yeah, completely. And then I could decide what I wanted to do, and I felt like I had a bigger mission than running my school, which sounds a bit arrogant and a bit bigging myself up, but I felt like I could offer more value to the world if I was helping more people.
Yeah.
And literally the only way you can really do that is to scale and get bigger and get online and start sharing your content and start engaging with people and start helping people. So now I've got like students all over the world, in Australia, in Indonesia, in Japan, in America, in Canada. And I just get to help them out, and they message me, and it's just nice. I enjoy it. Not for everyone, of course.
No, I know, and I appreciate it's not for everybody. I mean, I'm just starting. I feel like I'm just starting to get to grips with it a little bit now. And a lot of the things that I had to get to grips with weren't so much the technicalities of it, the video in it, editing it, which I know for some people is an issue. But for me, it was more getting over the sort of the mental hurdles that I was putting in place with regards to getting online. I've talked about this before, but what if they say this, and what if they don't like it, and what if somebody does this and that? But they're all what ifs that really don't amount to anything, because I when I first put that out there, you have some people that say, "Oh, who's this guy? What does he think he is?" I'm doing a little keyboard fingers thing then when I was doing that. What did I do? And then, but for that one person that said that, 20 other people were getting something out of it. So
exactly. I would say it's a 1%, 99% thing. 99% of people who see my stuff like it, and then there's 1% who dislike it or are rude about it. And I never focus on them. It's just where you put your attention, right? Why would I focus on the one person who says something offensive? Unless they've got a legitimate argument, then I'll have a dialogue with them. But if they're just saying it's a load of whatever, then as you know,
whatever.
The whatever, then ban and delete, move on, and focus on the people you want to help. And that thing I was saying, like maybe what I've done, which is turn it into an international kind of sort of business type of thing, is not for everyone. But what you can do is create online products for your current students in your school. If you don't want to do the whole branching out and making it into a big business, you can literally create a syllabus for your students to work from. You could create an online sparring course for them to improve their sparring. So many students struggle with stretching. So how about a stretching online program that could help the students stretch ready for gradings? how about a beginner's guide to starting martial arts that you could offer for free to your new students? That was along the lines of, this is how to tie your belt, how to, do the bows. This is how to greet other people. This is the respect. These are the rules, and just build out these wonderful online products that help your school. That's definitely doable for every single martial artist.
Absolutely. That's, the first thing that I did was record everything, every element of our syllabus. And then I had that package ready. And initially we just had that one, and that was all we had. And then what we did over time was, we asked people, what do you think? What do you like about it? What would you like differently? And, some of the surveys we got back were from some of the younger grade groups, even though I thought in my head, well, I'm offering them everything. So, they're going to be happy with that. But they were saying, well, no, Jimmy's only 4 and he's in this class for 2 years. So we're not even thinking about that yet. It'd be great if we could have something that's just for him. So,
exactly.
Okay, well, I've already filmed it. So chopped it out, repackaged it, changed the price, put some extra pictures in, a few extra PDFs, and then sold it as a separate thing. But the content was already there. There was no extra effort at all. So,
and instructors worry that they think that people are going to take the online and cancel their membership and just study it. And you're like, do you not understand that people are not that self-motivated to train by themselves in it? They're still going to come to your school and train, but what you're doing is you're supporting their training when they leave the school. So let's say, most recreational martial artists probably train, maybe 2-3 hours a week max, So by creating an online product, you allow them to go home and study. They may not be drilling the techniques, but they'll be watching and learning and understanding, and it'll improve their skills, which is good for your retention, which is good for number of students going for gradings, which is good for your school in its entirety. So I think a lot of instructors are starting to get this idea of, this might be a good idea to create online products for my students. And nowadays the software is so super simple, the software that I use, that you can literally bang something up, film something over a weekend, bang it up and have it ready within a week. It's that quick nowadays.
I mean, we when we filmed the syllabus from my school, we set aside a day and we said, right, we're going to film it. We're just going to get everything down. It takes as long as it takes. And it took me, I can't remember how many hours it was, but we got everything filmed. And then I spent probably the next maybe day and a half sort of editing it down. Only really basics. It doesn't need to be anything over the top flash. And then getting it all online. Probably getting it online was the longest process. Typing all the things in and waiting for it to upload. But even then, you were talking a few days. It wasn't anything. And it's there. And it's been there now for a year and a half, 2 years maybe. So,
and that's the cool thing, because you can still sell that in 20 years' time. That's the amazing thing about it. So the whole thing with the online thing is that you're stopping trading your time, as in going to class and teaching or going and doing a private lesson. So you're restricted on time. You're taking your passion, turning it into a product, and then you're able to sell it for infinity. And just keep it going out, and it requires no effort from you to, get the content to the customer, because they buy it and the software takes care of all that, and you can just continue to earn revenue off it for the rest of the time, which is crazy. It's just mad, because I mean, I hang around with a lot of instructors, and I hang around with a lot of older instructors who are like 60 plus, and unless they've been smart with their money, a lot of them are really screwed. Like, they've spent so much time and energy helping people and giving back, and they haven't built any sort of pension for themselves. They haven't many of them don't have any savings. They are literally stuck teaching until they die, which sounds cool. But
until you die.
Until you die, yeah. But in reality, you might not still want to be teaching the 4-year-olds class when you're 65, if passion for your teaching is probably going to stick with you forever, but doing it day in, day out for 40 years can burn out a lot of people. Now, a lot of people say, well, not me, I'll never burn out, I'm always going to love it. But if you get tired, if you get ill, if you get injured, if you get some sort of serious illness like cancer or something, that's going to change quick, and you're going to want to focus more on yourself, in which case I would want you to have this sort of other revenue stream just trickling along in the background, and then you can push it when you need it to make more sales. So the time is kind of now to start building up this online products. And it's really important that you create a product that's generic, not specific to your school. Because if you create a product specific to your school and over brand it with all your logos and the banner in the background and all that, it's less effective than to sell it to people who are not in your school, because it seems like it's a product for your school. So try and make your content that you're filming, especially like a syllabus, as generic as possible. So just, plain uniforms, plain background, because you can take that same content that you're going to give to your students and turn it into an online course, which is what I did. So I had kickboxing content for my students in my school, which I then turned into an online kickboxing syllabus, which I then sell to instructors around the web. So try and make your content generic when you start.
Very, very cool. But yeah, the thing with it is I would say to anybody out there that's considering doing this is, don't be afraid of having a play with it and trying it out, because as you say, you can start off with, which is something we've just implemented actually, is a free course. How to come when the kids come to attention, when they bow, how to put the uniform on, how to tie their belt, where to put their shoes when they arrive, how to sign in. Just real stuff that you may already put in a welcome pack, but let's be honest, no one reads the letters. Exactly, no one reads the email. Well, not no one, but a lot don't read. I've got
no, seriously, listen, no one reads it, because I tested this. Because in my school, I put inside the welcome pack a discount voucher for 100% discount on equipment, so they could get something for free.
Wow!
Right, to test this. And we gave out hundreds of these. No one came to me and said, can I have the 100% discount on this piece of equipment? Because they didn't read it. So sadly, they're probably not reading it. And if you read the studies, people are reading less and less and less. They're now going to audio, so podcasts, and they're watching video. So if you can create some sort of online course that's video based and is short, like 1-2 minute lessons, like 20 lessons that you need to know when you start martial arts, something like that, they'll consume that.
Yeah, and then obviously the really cool thing is you're providing a service, of value there. But looking to the future, there's the possibility with the way these online platforms are set out there's scope there to upsell as well, because you can on the same page you may also be interested in, and then
upsell them to a more advanced course or the next level. It's this stuff is crazy. I mean, I feel very lucky that a couple of my friends, because I was moaning to a couple of my friends about like burning out. I was doing too many privates. I was teaching too many classes. I'm a super control freak, so I was doing everything in my business myself, which is the common problem of martial arts instructors. And I was like just not enjoying it anymore. Like I used to sit in my car before I'd go into class, and I'd be like almost getting an anxiety attack. Like just I didn't want not to do it anymore, but I just didn't have much left to give because I was too controlling and all of that sort of stuff. And then a friend said to me, well, why don't you just turn your passion for martial arts into a product? And like light bulb ding. So then he helped me out, and I studied, and I spent a lot of money getting trained up in that. And I'm so thankful that I'm one of the first in the UK that I know who has built an online business that supports my family, my life. And now I get to help other people by teaching them how to do the same. Because as you know, once you start to make a bit of money with this online courses, it's like, wow, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. I can make money when I'm not teaching. I can make money when I'm asleep. And I can create all these cool products based on my 20 or 30 years of experience in martial arts,
And here's the thing as well. Again, there's the money thing to some people. And I've been guilty of this in the past as well. You could put this like negative connotation on it and look at it in a negative way. But at the end of the day, which is a phrase I hate, I shouldn't have just said that. But I'm going to leave it in. I never said it again then. It's completely up to you what you do with that money once you've made it. So you can put it back into the business. You can put it into another online course. But the really cool thing with what I've done with my online kicking course is it's worked in two ways. One, it's helping to fund this podcast. And secondly, we've taken on a new staff member. Now, has it covered it completely? Has it covered it completely? No. But has it made it more manageable? Yes. Which means now that I'm not having to do as much of the teaching.
Yes.
Which is one of the reasons why I went into the online teaching in the first place as a
Yeah.
sort of a fresh way to look at my teaching, because 20 years doing it full time, I'm not quite burnt out, but I'm definitely coming now. What more can I do? I need something different. So I did the online training, obviously work with yourself as well, and built it up to a point where I was looking at what we were making, and I was thinking, well, a staff member, that makes sense. So we've got a 16-year-old apprentice that's just come into the business. He's been with me as a student for a very long time. And it's helping to get him started in his career.
That's really good. I hadn't actually thought of that. It's a bit stupid. But that would be an excellent use for the 500 extra pounds you make a month, or the extra £1,000 you make a month for your online courses, is to free up more of your time by employing staff in your business. That's really, really good. I like that. I should have done the same, but instead I just ditched the whole thing and focused on the online. But no, I like that.
Whatever works for you. I mean, ultimately, I may end up going down that route, but I certainly know that 2 years ago I wouldn't have had that option.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. The way I set up my online courses with membership sites, it's kind of like a school. It's a recurring income, like someone on direct debit or standing order. What could you do in your business with an extra £500 per month? And I think most martial artists could get to the point where they're making £500 a month in terms of online syllabuses and support materials for their students from their own students. And then if they started to branch out and cover wider martial arts, what could they do with an extra £1,000 a month, or an extra £2,000 a month? Well, if you're starting to make an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month just on online courses, sales, and products, you start thinking, wow, okay, this could possibly change my life. And that's literally what happened with me. Like from my first year making £0 to then making £7.99 with my first sale, to then bringing in like 250 quid a month, then 500 quid a month, then £3,000 a month, then £5,000 a month, then 10 grand a month. And you start going, holy crap, this is quite, this could change my life, and I could help other people do the same. I see so many martial arts instructors struggling. I had a conversation with a guy recently who's a traditional martial artist who's like, no one wants to learn my stuff anymore. They all want to do MMA. And I'm like, well, that's not necessarily true, because traditional martial arts are still huge throughout the world. But maybe in his local town, he's struggling with finding enough students. But what about if you had an online product that you could advertise and share all over the world? Surely you could attract in, 100, 200, 300 members to your cheap membership site and start building a bit of income and start establishing yourself as an expert in that area. It's doable and possible, because I've done it and you've done it, and other people who have helped build online courses have done it. It's just scaled. Like, how far do you want to push it is the big question.
Yeah, and having it online and ready it's not necessarily even online. I mean, if this particular person had the content filmed and on a hard drive ready to use when the time was right, or when it was right for him, it's there and it's ready, and there's no excuse anymore, really. I mean, where's mine? There's my studio. It's there. It's so easy to do now, and it's once the content's filmed, things go in cycles, don't they? I mean, I remember, I can't even remember which fight it was or when it was, but there was a particular MMA fight where somebody had been throwing some particular kicks, or there's one particular fighter was kicking a lot, and then the next thing I knew, I had people wanting to book me for workshops.
Oh, cool.
Because this person had been doing the kicks that they generally don't train in. Yeah, and they were landing them and they were making them work, and then they were like, "Oh well, could you maybe come in and show some of our guys this and that?" And this
was
and
it the pump sidekick one? Was it like the machine gun sidekick?
No, it wasn't that one. No, it was before. It was before then. It was before then. But yeah, if the content's there and it's ready for this gen, for example, he might be watching now. The second series of Cobra Kai is about to come out, so that sort of mysticism, sort of karate thing's going to be, that vibe's going to be
back in flash fashion, right? Exactly, yeah. So you can take advantage of these trends as they come along by creating your content, and then when it's come back up to the surface, you're there leading the pack. And this is one of the things I've been talking a lot on social media about. I honestly believe in the next 10 years, all martial arts instructors and schools are going to have online programs. So the advantage is if you can get in it now and own the headspace around a particular subject, like you're known for online kicking. So, if people are thinking of online kicking in the UK and hopefully in the world, they're going to check out your product. I'm known for pad training. So, if people want to see loads of different pad drills, they're going to come to me. If you can get into people's heads as the expert in a particular field, you can just run with it, and it's very hard for people to catch up with you because you're just way ahead. It's about owning space in people's heads so that you create enough content and enough engagement and you're out there enough that people, when they're ready, go, I need some new pad drills. I know, MIPMaster. That's what you want to get to. If you want to build like a global sort of online brand, that's the joke. But like I said, there's many steps on the way to that sort of big side. Start with your school, start with products for your students, help your students out, create content that they want to see, ask them what they want. Guys, what do you want to see? Do a Facebook post. I'm thinking of creating online. You'll get loads of answers. I need sparring tips. I need stretching tips. I need nutrition tips. I hadn't thought about that. And you can create all these wonderful products that help your students. And, if you're very generous, just give them to for free, as part of being a member of your club. You can give them access to certain courses for free. It's all good. It helps everyone.
Yeah. The mistake I made, I should have done onlinebiscuiteating.co.uk.
It's not too late, dude. Go for it.
I did kick it instead.
Follow your dreams.
Should have done biscuit eating. I would have been awesome at that. But no, dude, thanks for your time. It's been a bit of an extended one this week, but it's nice. It's the first for the video.
Cool.
I'll let you get back to your book writing.
Thank you very much. It's slow and painful, but it's another way, we've been talking about, is of sealing your legacy. I think, like as an instructor, we think of our students as our legacy as we pass down generations, but they don't necessarily do what you've taught them to do. They do their interpretation of it. So systems get watered down through the generations, don't they? Mm-hmm. Or maybe not even watered down, just changed through natural selection, people modifying things, changing things. So part of the legacy building is creating online courses because they stay the same forever, and writing books because that's another way of sharing your message with the world.
1 second.
No, he's off.
So I'm in my office and I have all my books.
Yes.
Who's this chap on the back?
Look how much hair I had. I had hair then. I was less stressed.
No, you're right. It's very true. I've got Gordon's books there as well, and various other people's. What else we got? Dave Kovar's books. You're right. These people now. It's written down. It's there forever, isn't it? And
it stays around forever, and it's your gift to future students and to the martial arts world. Imagine if we could watch Gichin Funakoshi throughout his journey to becoming who he was, and watch Bruce Lee. We've got a bit on Bruce Lee, but watch Bruce Lee properly all the way through. So now modern martial artists, the next generation of those elite levels, are going to be able to record themselves from when they started at 5 all the way up to they're reaching their peak, 30s, 40s, and 50s. It's going to be fantastic.
Wow, good. Yeah, good way to finish that. Well, thank you for your time, and
thank you, mate.
Enjoy your work trip.
I'll try. I think I'm going to have a little nap now. I'm tired.
All this talking.
Hard
cool.
life.
All right.
Hard life, isn't it, this?
Hey, very much so. Right. Thanks, you do it, and we'll speak next time.
See you, mate. Bye.
Hey everyone, so thanks for tuning in and watching this very first Match Chat episode on YouTube. If you enjoyed it and you want to check out our full podcast, make sure you head over to kickbackpodcast.com. There you'll find ways to listen in on all of our different channel options. So we've got iTunes, we've got Spotify, SoundCloud, all the regular ways to listen that you can think of. You can also check us out via your own podcast app or web service that you use. If you search for Kickback with Chris, the Martial Arts Podcast, just make sure that you've got a gap between the words kick and back, otherwise it won't come up. It gets a little bit confused. So yeah, Kickback with Chris, the Martial Arts Podcast. Obviously, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram and all those things as well, and get involved with the show. We're up to about 40 episodes now, so there's lots going on all the time. So please do remember to subscribe. If you're new to this channel, again, if you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe and share it around social media so people find us, especially if you enjoyed it. And this should be a regular thing now from next week going forward, so please do remember to come back. Oh, and with the subscription thing, remember to click the little bells so that you get the notifications to your phone when these videos go live. Thanks guys, and I'll catch you all next week.